back to another podcast episode of Are We Nerds with only one of your favorite hosts, Emily. The other Emily is actually in the vicinity. She's quite literally a couple feet away, but she's writing a paper. So you get me today with two of my favorite people, my roommates.
Hello.
This is Avery.
What's up?
And you know Tricia. Tricia's been on a podcast episode before. So we're going to talk about their favorite animes today. The whole Weave House. As you can see, we have an Eisen scroll, and we have our Spy Family scroll right there. So I think and Beppo on the wall. But to start off, I have some icebreaker questions.
Okay.
So you guys can, gauge the audience, and, the audience can gauge y'all.
Cool.
All right, so what is, your favorite anime genre / what kind of, style of anime or, manga, too, do you lean towards watching and reading?
I love slice of life. I like, just a nice little day in the life can be nice. But also, I do love just, more sci-fi, is that the word? Just a little futuristic, dystopian, that's also rocks. Especially in the wintertime, I don't know what it is about it, but watching just some people flying around in space when it's cold outside. Or not even just space, but just stuff like that is nice.
Yeah.
So true. I feel like I gravitate more towards the shonens. Just personally, I love a good training arc. I love a good power up. I love a good fight scene. I don't know. I do also like some of the darker dystopian ones though,
I think on that note, it's we need to get Avery on more shonens.
Yeah.
Shonens are just long, and I have a hard time watching long anime.
Not all shonens are long.
That's true.
They
true.
are
And I do
often
like
long.
shonens.
They are
You will
often
see
long.
on my list. But
I think of the new animes, I think you would really like Hell's Paradise. That just seems I think the art style is also just up your alley.
Art style is a very big thing for me too. I want it to look pretty, and I want to feel good when I'm watching it in terms of just aesthetically pleasing. I can be really sad while I'm watching it, but if it's beautiful, that's okay.
And you are my shonen queen. You love shonen.
It's what I grew up on.
A good show. Well, it just the feeling after watching a good shonen. It's I mean, I have the Hunter x Hunter sweatshirt on, but the training arc. First of all, they have a training arc every season. I love when there's a training arc every arc, because it's they just keep getting stronger and stronger.
It's nice, and I feel a lot of American media now, it's you don't get the training as much. You just get people who automatically have superpowers and are able to fight really well. And I feel part of the joy of watching something is watching somebody learn how to get good at it and feeling frustrated with it. And it just makes you root for the characters more.
Yeah.
See, but I will say that's kind of where the length comes into play.
That is true.
Exactly. It's the slow burn payoff type thing.
Yeah.
If you watch them go through so much growth, and then when they get there, it's wow, this really.
They did it.
They really did it.
Yeah, I mean, Emily and I were just talking about One Piece earlier. We were talking about the guy from the first. I don't even know season, but one of the first arcs, the arc where Usopp's village, and we're wow, you guys remember when we thought that he was such a strong villain, and now Luffy could just look at him and he'd be dead. It's that progression, but also that took 10, 20 years to get there. But I will you could start. I think you should start Jujutsu Kaisen. That's a shonen, and it's a dark shonen.
It's pretty short so far. It's only a couple seasons. Right?
Yeah.
Well, it's only
not very
one
long.
season that's done, and then we're a few episodes into the second season.
Yeah.
Okay.
8 or something.
Yeah,
Not too many.
Not too many. It's so good. Highly recommend. Okay, and then I have, what anime character do you think you're most like, or that you resemble the most? And vice versa, what anime character did you think of when we think of each other?
Okay.
Whoa.
Wild question.
That's crazy.
I thought it was a pretty good icebreaker.
It's a pretty good one.
It's a good one.
Emily, you can definitely give me like Anya vibes.
Oh.
Like, way. Like you're just like so sweet and nice and bubbly and like cute to be around, but really like smart and perceptive too. So like
I can read brains.
yes. Yeah.
What about Trisha? You got one for Trisha yet?
Let me think about one for Tricia.
I'm trying to think of one for y'all. Like, I wrote this question. I'm like,
I couldn't even really tell you one for me. I will say, I do want to compare you to Matsuo Kuko a little bit right now, just because I feel like you also love muscles and also have that burning fiery passion within you.
That's the manager of the swim anime
Oh,
that we're watching.
okay, yeah,
Because
yeah.
she's like obsessed with muscles.
Yeah, no, that is.
But she's also very smart and cool.
Yeah,
No,
very
that's a
smart and
compliment.
cool.
She's awesome. I
will
love her.
say,
And does calligraphy.
When Emily was on Hinge, it'd be like every match she would show, it'd just be like the beefiest
Muscles.
Like that would be like the only thing in common between all of them. I mean, and like anime. Those were like the two requirements. Like, I was like, oh yeah, he seems great.
And who did I end up with?
A beefy anime. We love him, though.
We do love him. He's a sweet. He's a different kind of beefy anime boy.
Yeah, you can be beefy and still have a good heart.
Right. I'm trying. Yeah, you for me. Maybe it's just because you sent me pictures of this cosplay earlier, but like sometimes like low-key Kurapika vibes.
Wow.
Just like very determined, very smart. Also like kind of reserved and quiet, but also like the people that they're close with, it's like
Yeah.
they're more like, you know,
Yeah.
it's like the people they know that are close to them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's
I also
a good
like
one.
Kurapika's so cool.
Yeah.
And you're so
Kurapika's
cool.
awesome.
So,
Thank you.
and for you, the one that came to my mind, it's not even like a similarity so much as the character, just the aesthetic. Nana.
Which one?
Not Hachi.
Okay, the other one. Okay.
Nana.
I was gonna say you also remind me of the other Nana.
Hachi.
So, yeah.
Oh God.
In like a sweet way.
Hachi's really sweet.
Yeah.
She's really. You would need to watch Nana. You would like it.
too,
You would
me
really
too.
like it. We
Yeah.
have High Dive. It's on there. Oh, it's on Hulu. We have Hulu without ads.
Yes, there we go.
We picked.
Trisha could be like a Sailor Mars. Too.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Oh.
Sailor Mars is my favorite.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
That's a good one.
See, like, not to
Right?
have my shonen bias jump out, but I just feel like I'm like trying to think of like not beefy man anime characters, and it's like hard. It's kind of tough.
You also
I could
give
be a beefy man.
you also give Hinata vibes too.
Okay.
Mhm.
Hell yeah. Hell
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah. Anime characters are just so crazy.
There's so many.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
extreme.
You low-key also give me the blonde girl. You probably know her name. The blonde girl from Fruits Basket, Toru's friend.
Oh.
What's her name?
Oh. What is her name?
Oh, the one with the long blonde.
Yeah,
hair.
yeah.
She's like
No. That's
No.
That's the one with the long black hair.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah,
one
yeah.
with the blonde hair is like trying to fight. She like used to be in a gang.
She used to be in a biker gang.
I got a little scrapped.
It's just like the kind of like you would think she's like very like,
Yeah.
but when you like get to know her character, she's very like soft and also well spoken and yeah.
Yeah. I could also see you giving me kind of Momiji vibes in that way, like very like social and friendly,
Who
and
is that?
everyone loves you. The little bunny boy
From Fruits Basket.
Oh.
from Fruits Basket,
She watched. Okay,
Yes,
mind you.
but also a deep sadness within sometimes.
Oh, really? You haven't gotten to that part yet.
It's my kids or son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, for real. Momiji vibes for sure.
You haven't gotten to that part yet, but I think now because we have Hulu without ads, you can. Well, actually no, because for some reason Hulu only has Fruits Basket in the English dub,
Oh.
but it's on Crunchyroll, and we have Crunchyroll.
That's why I couldn't get through it.
You need to watch because the English dub is not
Yeah.
my favorite. Okay. All right. My last question is predictions. What do we think each other's favorite anime is?
Whoa.
I'm not gonna give my top 5 since I've given my top 5 before. I'm kind of just gonna input, but I'll.
So I just have to guess Avery's number 1.
Well, you can guess my number 1.
I can also guess.
Yeah, I think
1.
you know my number 1.
I think your number 1 is Inuyasha.
Okay.
Okay.
What were you gonna?
I was gonna say One Piece, but
those are.
Yeah, those are like definitely
neck and
up
neck
there at the top.
Mhm.
Trisha's Bleach.
I think yours is
maybe?
Bleach.
Uh,
Well, we won't reveal the answers yet for you two.
Maybe Inuyasha also up there. Maybe Hunter x Hunter also up there.
Those are all 3 very solid.
Death Note also too. Obviously.
Oh, Death Note, Haikyuu. I think we just listed your
everyone.
I think your favorite. You know, I'm gonna put it out there, and it might like be kind of a random anime. I think maybe, I don't know if it's your favorite, but I think it's gonna be maybe in your top 5. Blue Period.
Oh, okay.
That's a really good one. I think that might possibly be in the mix.
Okay, I could definitely see Nana being up there. I just remember you being very into that, at least momentarily. Probably Sailor Moon. You've always loved a good Sailor Moon croc jibbit it.
Who doesn't love Sailor Moon?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so should we get into our top 5s? I'll like briefly mention like my 5, but like I won't go into depth like you guys go into depth.
Do we want to start with our number 5 and then work our way up?
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
So what's your number 5,
My
Avery?
number 5 is tied between 2 that I feel like are kind of similar, and I had a really hard time choosing between the 2 of them, which is Neon Genesis and Cowboy Bebop.
Ooh, okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I guess saying like like the dystopian sci-fi like vibe. I also love like the 90s animation style for both of them. They're both really short but really concise animes. I feel like too. Cowboy Bebop. And they're both ones that like you can like you watch all the way through, but you can like rewatch it because you just continually like pick up more and more things from them. Also, like, those were 2... A lot of these are just going to be, like, some of, like, the first animes I've watched.
Yeah.
So I just remember being in, like, deep COVID, watching Neon Genesis. I did go on a plane, which is fucked up. I shouldn't have done that. But it was... I was in the airport, like, triple masked, watching the last episode.
Oh, God!
In the airport. And, like, Shinji's just like this. And I'm like, we're all gonna die.
I will say your Shinji cosplay you did for MomoCon is one of my favorite cosplays I've ever seen.
I made my eyes look like I was...
And Cowboy Bebop is very you-coded.
Thank you.
I didn't even think about that.
I've only watched it once, but I did really like it, and it's one that I really want to, like, revisit soon. Because it's also one of those ones where it's, like, you kind of, once you get to the end, you, like, realize some of the, like, dream sequence scenes, and, like, I don't know, it's, like, something I feel like would be fun to rewatch.
Hey, what's your number 5?
Alright, my number 5 is Free Iwatobi Swim Club. Because...
Incredible series!
I feel like it's just very different from what I usually watch, and for that reason, it has a very special feeling to me.
The muscle boys give me a very special feeling.
The muscle boys make me feel...
They're soulmates. You wouldn't understand.
I mean, listen, many of these series have muscly people in them, but it is also about the emotion. Usually the muscly men aren't as emotional, and
that's very true.
The animation's just really pretty.
I do love the water. From what I've seen from y'all watching it, just like the way they animated it.
I actually think you would really like it just because, one, the animation, but then also, like Tricia said, the emotion in it. It's not just like Muscly Men, obviously, it's going to be like the fan service of it all, but it's so much more.
Yeah, it's just like super openly angsty, and they don't try to like shy away from it at all. Like, it's just super angsty, but also really fun and cute, and just like, I don't know, it just gives me that nice summer vibe, but also deep pain and anguish, and those things are, you know, unavoidable in life. You're always gonna have that terrible aching nostalgia and that terrible deep feeling of missing your friends and being scared of the future, and it's real in that way.
It really is. It's like, when you told me to watch this, like you and Emily told me to watch this, I did not expect to like sob. And literally, I remember sitting on this couch right there watching it, and we have a group chat with Emily just specifically to talk about Free. It's called Free Bitches. And I remember sending, like, live reactions, and I'm like, fuck y'all, why didn't y'all tell me this was sad? It's very emotional. It's a very good one. I should have thought that was in here. My number 5 would be, just because I need to re-watch it, Noragami is my 5th favorite anime of all time. Neither of you have watched it. You would really like it. It's only 24 episodes. And you would also really like it.
Yeah, it's been something that's, like, been vaguely on my watch list.
You should watch it.
I was, like, 13.
It's really good. And, I mean, there's only 2 seasons out, which is a hard spot for us Noragami fans, but it's really good. I have the manga, too, so if you want to read the manga, I have the manga, too.
Perhaps.
Because I would definitely say that Trisha's more of a reader than a watcher.
I'm a reader, for sure.
Bookworm.
I started
Bookworm.
out at the library. My public library would just have, like, random volumes of manga, and so I think I've read just, like, bits and chunks of, like, so many random manga series.
I love that, though. All right, what's your number 4?
Okay, my number 4 is Sailor Moon.
Oh.
Classic. It's only so low on my list just because I haven't finished it yet. It's something I've, like, been very slowly chugging along through. But there has, like, no other anime that has just, like, captivated me in terms of, like, the animation and art style so immediately. It's just, like, every time I watch it, it's, like, serotonin to my brain.
It's beautiful.
It's just so pretty and gorgeous and, like, also, like, just really sweet and cute, too. And I love, like, the mystical element of it. It's, like, I don't know, just very, like, very beautiful, very goofy, very stylish. Just a classic.
Their style is awesome.
Forever, yeah.
Sailor Moon is so fun.
Also, the reason why I started watching it, too, was on that New York trip, I saw there was, like, a Sailor Moon sticker on a pole, and I, like, pulled it off, because it was, like, only half attached, and I put it on my phone, and I had never watched Sailor Moon before. And I was like, I was literally so transfixed just by, like, the drawing. It was just, like, Sailor Moon, then all the other sailors, like, behind her, and, like, there was, like, a heart in the background or something. It was just so beautiful. And I remember I was teaching preschool at the time, too, and my kids saw it, and they were like, whoa, that's so cool, like, who are all these characters? And I was like, I don't know. And my 4-year-olds were like, oh, you don't know who these characters are? You, like it? And I was like, okay, Paw Patrol.
You don't know who Usagi is?
I was like, and then also watching it, too, while I was teaching preschool, I was like, oh my god, I wish I had watched this as a child. I would have loved this so much as a kid, but my parents were, like, weirdly anti-anime, so I, like, never watched it.
Sailor Moon is definitely, like, watching it now as an adult, it just brings me so much joy because I remember the joy it brought me as a kid. But what I think is so special about that series is it's like you as someone who's in their 20s who didn't watch it as a kid now has seen it and is still experiencing the same joy that like we who watched it when we were little kids. But then also rewatching it as an adult, even having watched it as a kid, it's just like, happiness.
It's just so good.
Such a good series.
I didn't realize how little, like, OG Sailor Moon manga there is.
It's so
My
short.
friend told me it's like 12 volumes.
Yeah.
Like, you can read all of Sailor Moon so fast.
It's
I didn't
so
realize
short.
That,
I read all
so
of
much
it,
filler, I guess, in the anime. There's a shit ton of anime, but I didn't realize that until like a month ago.
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's also crazy that like the Sailor Moon mangaka and the Hunter x Hunter mangaka are married.
Oh, yeah. That is awesome.
Another reason I think you would really like Hunter x Hunter, but anyway. It's really not that long. Don't look at her.
What's your number 4, Tricia?
Speaking of Hunter x Hunter. Yeah. That's my number 4, right? Yeah, that's my number 4.
Such a good series.
Hunter x Hunter is just awesome. It also kind of has that fantasy vibe. Very much has that progression of characters getting stronger and growing closer and being strong and being friends and awesome character design and awesome music. Yeah, I was like very much drawn into the world when I watched it, which I think says a lot. So just some really good characters, some really good arcs.
Oh, Hunter x Hunter's so good. It's
great. Also, I watched mostly the remake of the anime.
Yeah.
But I did also watch part of the 99 anime.
Is it?
And I would love to watch more of it because, like, the 90s style goes really hard.
Did you like it?
Awesome.
I've never seen the 99 version. I've only seen the remake.
I've seen less of the 90s version, but it is awesome. Like, I would really like to watch it.
I do say, like, I see screen caps of the 90s version. I'm like, the style is just so...
It's awesome.
There's something about 90s anime style that just, like...
Especially when it's, like, kind of, like, fantastical, like, dark type stuff. It's wow.
And speaking of Hunter x Hunter, it's not my number 4. It is in my top 10, but not my number 4. But we're cosplaying Hunter x Hunter for Awa! My number 4 is Haikyuu. I'm assuming it might be in your top 5. It might be wrong, but I'm thinking it might, so I won't say much more. Mm-hmm. But if I'm wrong, then we'll come back to this.
Okay.
Your number 3.
My number
we're in the top 3.
Is Death Note.
Oh!
Just because so Emily and I met working at the Capitol together, and that was when I started watching Death Note. And watching Death Note while, like, working for, like, a legislative body. It was like some, like, weird meta shit, because it's, like, you're just, like, watching all of these, like, senators, like, bend the rules to kind of do evil things, but they're following the rules, so, like, it's okay in their minds. And, like, Death Note is also just a lot of, like, just, like, trying to, like, bend the rules to, like, get what you want. Also, just, I haven't had a show where I was just, like, screaming at the TV and, like, on the edge of my seat, like, what the fuck's gonna happen? Like, you know, just, like, all of the, like, ooh, if he thinks this, then this is gonna happen. So, yeah, Death Note just rocks. And I was on Tumblr when Death Note was really big, but I was an anime hater at the time. Sorry, shame me. But I was always like, what the fuck is this? Like, why do people like this? But now I'm like, I get it.
Death Note, I have not finished it. I started...
How have you not finished it?
because so what happened was we've gotten pretty deep into it. I'd gotten, well, because I watched some episodes on my own.
Mm-hmm. All right.
I think I got to, like, episode 12.
Okay.
There's only, like, 30-something episodes, right? Or 40-something?
I
got,
like, 2 seasons.
I got almost halfway through. The thing it's really good. I really like it. I need to finish it. I'm going to finish it during this season because it's spooky season, so it's the most appropriate time to watch it. Reason I didn't finish it is I had a very vivid dream that someone put my name in the Death Note.
Oh, and it freaked you out.
And it freaks me out because I had been binging Death Note, so it wasn't like I was watching one episode. I was, like, binging.
That's the only way to watch it.
It's so good.
Yeah, you just have to know what happens next.
Yeah, and, like, the thing is I know the ending, too, because the ending has been, because Death Note's been out forever, so, like, I obviously know what happens, but, like, even then, I'm like...
It's how you get to the end.
Exactly. So maybe I'll watch Death Note once we're done recording this, but... I'm not that I need to figure out what episode I'm on, but I do really like Death Note. Emily, on the other hand, is the Death Note hater, which we're gonna have a Death Note episode, and Emily and Tricia are gonna go at it.
Yeah.
I am not a hater.
She's coming out, guys.
I'm not a hater. It's just not meant for me. I'll finish it eventually. Not a hater. I got yours. I put number 4.
Wait till you see my top 3.
Brutal.
Girl, listen to my top 3 and you'll understand.
Anyway, people are allowed to be wrong. And that just happens sometimes.
Tricia, what's your number 4?
3.
Or 3, sorry.
My number 3. Speak of the devil, my number 3 is Haikyuu.
Oh,
and
so good.
It's funny because we were talking about how I watch shonen, but I also like sports anime. But I don't feel like I can actually say that because those are the only 2.
I would say the sports anime are still like a kind of genre of shonen.
In a way. Mm-hmm. You still have a training arc.
Exactly.
You still have powerful.
It's just instead of being superpowers, it's sports.
They're normal superpowers at sports, but it's kind of for similar reasons to Free. It's not anywhere near as emotional as Free, but I do feel like the character development and like the interpersonal relationships get focused on a lot more than in like your standard shonen. Sometimes, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, some shonens are pretty emo with it. But it's very much feel good. I think it's also just really silly and really funny, and the games get so intense. Like, speaking of Death Note, having to watch like the next episode and the next episode to see what happens, like, I will say, like, sometimes in between games, like, it can get a little slow. Like, I wouldn't say it's ever super slow, because they're always like either training for something or like actively in a game. But like, holy shit, the third season, the fact that it's just that one single game but like stretched out to be so like in detail, like I could not stop watching the third season. I will say I'm still working on that fourth season, but
you gotta get used to the new animation.
Yeah, I don't love it. I also hate that like the coach was one of the first people to talk, and it was just so obvious that they changed his voice actor, and I was like,
you know why they changed his voice actor, right?
Did he die?
He died. Not funny that he died.
I didn't know that.
No, but I thought the same thing too. I was like, why is this a different voice? Yeah. I was like, what was the controversy? And Emily goes, he died. And I was like, oh.
Died. Yeah. Oh. Ooh. Yeah. See, but I was like already so thrown off by everything looking so different.
But it makes sense, because like, if you don't know that, and like it's already a different style, it's like, it is like very, because I remember when we made Nathan watch it, we were like, fourth season, it does, like, you get used to it and it looks good, like, after, it does look good. It's just such a drastic change from the beginning, like, the past seasons, but once you're, like, into season 4, like, it looks, I like it. It took me a little bit to like it, but I did like it.
Yeah.
But you get past it, but if you're watching season 3 and then automatically go to 4 and all those changes happen, you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
But season 4 is still an incredible season.
Yeah. But it's very much a show that just warms my heart, makes me want to believe in myself and believe in the world, and it's just so feel good and silly, and great characters, great character design. Oh my god, like the little animal themed teams.
Oh,
like, it's just
so good.
So many really awesome characters, and yeah.
You would also really.
I know.
It's not that many episodes.
Yeah.
To be fair, because like Tricia doesn't really binge watch things, and I remember like going on the Crunchyroll, and you had like just finished season 2, and then I think that night you were done with like season 3.
I watched it in like 2 days. The third it's only 10 episodes.
Yeah, it's like the third season's literally 10 episodes.
I feel like the idea of
it's like 2.5 hours. It's like a long movie.
Okay.
Well, actually, to be fair, they do make it a movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they like have that match as a movie. They cut a little things out, like few things out.
Yeah.
But like if you just want to watch it just like consecutively, like a lot of the matches are just like movies.
Okay, cool.
So you would like it. My number 3 is, I think Tricia might hate me for this. But my number 3 is Bleach.
Oh.
It's fine.
I love Bleach. I think what you should do.
Oh my god.
I know. I'm like, this is just us being like, Avery, you should watch this.
The problem is that it's like, oh, it's not that bad, and then you just keep stacking more and more.
Well,
like,
well, then you have a watch list, then you never are bored.
That's true.
I think you should read the manga. Because the manga goes by so much faster, because there's so much filler in the anime.
Yeah.
And the art style is beautiful.
Yeah.
Bleach, I will say, out of every single one of these, has my favorite art style. It's so beautiful. The mangaka does... Did you see that his Burn the Witch thing is getting a new season? Like, the new series he drew?
Oh.
It's only 4 episodes, so we need to watch that. It's like and the art's just so beautiful. But if you read the manga, it goes by a lot faster, but then I think you should stop reading the manga, or you could keep reading the manga, but I do think you should watch 1,000 Year Blood War arc, which is the thing that's airing right now.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice.
But
yeah, I watched like
Bleach.
most of the first season, and then I kind of fell off.
Yeah, it's
the
first
hard to get
season,
through.
it's just the animation was not quite there at that point in history, and to me it's like nostalgic, but I can see how if you don't have the nostalgia associated with it, it's just like, why is this such bad quality?
It's hard to get through, like, the first, definitely. Especially, like, the way Ichigo looks. I'm like, Ichigo.
Dude, even me trying to watch it recently, I was like,
you were watching an episode, and I was like, oh. But now you see the animation now, and you're like, oh my god.
Yeah, it's
incredible.
awesome.
Anyway, that's my number 3. Your number 2?
My number 2 is... This is where I feel like I kind of, not one that y'all would think, but it's Naruto, the original version.
Okay.
Not Shippuden. I didn't finish Shippuden. I didn't get that far into Shippuden, I'll be honest. I'll be the first one to say it.
That's so fair.
But Naruto, like, the original seasons are, like, the first anime I ever watched because I was a very late bloomer. I didn't start watching anime until I was, like, 21, 22.
Nothing wrong with that.
Which is crazy. It was also COVID, and I had a ton of time, and I was like, dang, like, every time I ask people, I'm like, hey, I, like, want to watch anime, what should I watch? So the first answer you always get, just watch Naruto. Just watch Naruto. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna sit through it, and I kind of had to, like, force myself through, like, the first season or so, but then, like, just, like, having it be a shonen, having them learn their skills, getting all the characters, the thought behind every battle scene. And then when Tricia took me to AWA for the first time, the post-pandemic, just seeing all of the cosplayers, like, seeing my first Gaara, I was like, fangirling a little bit, and I was just like, okay, I'm like, yay, I'm happy to be here. There's also a really funny story of me and Tricia, me as Naruto, and Tricia as Rock Lee, and we indulged a little bit outside, and in something that made me a little paranoid. I was Naruto, and we walked back inside, and all of the Naruto cosplays would descend on us, and they were like, yeah, come take photos. Like, we want to take photos with you guys, and they made me stand in the center because I'm Naruto, and I hadn't watched the anime in, like, over years, and I didn't look up, like, the hand things, so I'm just, like, really paranoid, and I'm trying to, like,
throwing up.
These, like, I'm like,
What is it? I'd be like, heart.
And they're all these, like, professional cosplayers, too. Like, they all look so good. Like, there was, like, Kakashi. They were, like, all there, and I was just like,
awesome.
Sorry, I'm not a real weeb. I'm sorry. But, yeah, Naruto's a classic. It has to be up there.
Your Rock Lee cosplay is definitely, like, my favorite thing.
It's so good.
I'm never happier than when I am Rock Lee. Like,
I will never forget, we had our MomoCon after party, and your friend came in the Rock Lee cosplay, and you were wearing Nobara, and you go, I'll get
into Rock Lee right now. Like, I will do it. The more Rock Lees, the merrier.
And then I remember we walked into the gaming room at MomoCon, and there was like three Rock Lees, but there was this one specific Rock Lee, and y'all just looked at each other, and y'all were like,
yeah.
That was awesome.
No, they were awesome.
Cute.
Fun.
Okay, Tricia, you're number 2.
My number 2 is Death Note. Death Note is one of the best series of all time. It's just so good. I read the manga originally when I was a younger person. I don't know, like 13, somewhere around there. And the manga is just so awesome. I will say a lot of words in that bitch. You gotta do some serious reading to get through the Death Note manga, but that's what makes it so good. Like, the intricacies and the mind games that they play. Also, the art's just, like,
the art's beautiful.
Incredible.
So
the
good.
style that Death Note has is so unique, and, like, the gothic influences are just so cool. Like, the covers alone are just so intricate and so well done, and also really cool character design. That's why you have to keep watching so you can get to Mello and Matt.
I was like, I gotta watch it now.
Really cool. Misa's obviously awesome, and just the kind of, like, not standard hero main character, like very much not hero at all. It's just so interesting and so
L's
good.
Toes.
The L scroll, the L scroll outside the bathroom.
That's the best thing whenever we we have parties and people are like, oh, where's the bathroom? And I'm like, it's past the L scroll.
I will say, I'm like, oh, we finished, so I'm gonna be like, okay, well, I'm gonna watch the episode of Death Note.
Exactly.
It's just beautiful.
Exactly. And the anime is also fucking awesome for just, like, the same reasons, but also different reasons. I didn't watch the anime for the first time until I was, like, 19. So it was way after I'd watched the manga. So there were, like, some details that had escaped me. But the anime, first of all, like, it's not, it's not the greatest animation in the world. It came out in, like, the 2000s, whatever.
Yeah.
But the music...
I was gonna say...
Just
the opening...
The atmosphere...
Yeah.
Okay, the opening is really good.
The opening
also
goes
just
hard.
The music that is, like, within the show...
Yes.
It builds the suspense so well.
So
100%.
amazingly. Like, I remember... I had already read the manga, so I technically knew everything that happened. But there were moments within watching that, like, I was literally slack-jawed. Like, jaw on the floor. Like, this is just so incredible. Like, the shit that Light does and, like, some of the plot twists that happen are just so genuinely awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's the colors, like the blue and red thing that they do in the anime is also really awesome. Like, I love both the manga and the anime so much, and I feel like that says a lot, and that's why it's number 2.
Now I'm like hype. I'm like, I need to...
Oh, you gotta watch it.
I'll watch it. Girl, the night is early. It's only 9 p.m. for me. I don't go to bed till like 1. I'll finish the series.
Oh my god.
No, I probably would have nightmares, but I'll watch like an episode or 2. All right, what is... my number 2. My number 2 is One Piece.
Of course.
One Piece.
Of course.
We love One Piece. I'm trying to get Tricia onto the One Piece gang.
I read the first 3 chapters.
Nice.
You're halfway there.
I'm halfway there.
Well, I will say reading the manga goes by so fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get there.
Besides, like... Because I watched the anime, and I felt like I watched it very fast, and it took me 9 months to watch, like, the whole thing.
That's fast.
But then,
It's
like...
really fast for One Piece.
Oh, yeah, girl. I watched a lot. I got into, like... I was in a really low point in my life, and I watched, like, a really sad arc, and I just, like, sat there and cried and, like, watched the whole thing, and it was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It, like, quite literally changed my life. I love One Piece more than I can even explain. I actually need to catch up on the manga, but
Awesome.
I'm, like, 6 chapters behind. It's fine. We watched the first episode of the live action, though. What did you think of it?
I thought it was well done. I think the casting was really good. I think they could have gone just a little bit sillier with it because One Piece is so inherently silly, and I feel like they tried to be kind of serious about it. And then all of a sudden, dude is like stretching everywhere, and it just like is kind of funny.
It is funny.
But
yeah,
it didn't like. It wasn't the type of thing where I was like, oh my god, like I need to keep watching. Like, I have to see what happens in the next one, But I do think it is well done for an adaptation.
Yes, I would agree with that. All right. What is your number 1?
My number 1 is Nana.
I knew she was getting I'm so shocked.
I feel like that was my most recent like binge. Like I feel like when I watch anime or just like TV in general, I just get like hyper fixated on one thing and I don't want to escape that reality. And Nana just did it for me. I want to say, when did I watch it? Like
it wasn't that long ago.
In May, I want to say.
Yeah.
Like I just finished my like 2nd semester of grad school. I was like sadly single. Just like I don't know, and I think you just told me that I would like it. And you
because
been watching it.
It's because I had finished it, and I was like, you would really like this.
Like I don't know. Like you've recommended some really good ones to me. Perfect Blue is also like what's the word for it?
Honorable mention.
Honorable mention. That was like another anime that you told me to watch that I also really liked and also made me cry a bunch. I feel like Nana is so good in the sense that it's just like it really gets to the heart of what like being in your like early mid-20s is like all about. Just like being confused about what to do with your life, being confused about like what you want in a relationship, being confused about like who you are and like looking for who you are in other people and in the wrong places, but also about like the beauty and power of friendship and like creative expression and like music and like the outfits are so cool, the people are so cool in it. I don't know, there's just like, I don't know, I'm such a sucker for like coming of age, like all like slightly like indie like vibes. Like that was just like what I loved in like high school and middle school. So I feel like, and I just have never seen like the like emotional depth of like what dating like really is like. I don't know, just like the insecurities that come with it out of like any media, and it is really like. I hate saying I don't hate saying the word feminist, but because I just feel like the word gets like thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
But I do feel like it's a really like feminist anime, just in like the way it like deals with like a lot of like issues about like love and also the style is just so cool.
Yes.
Everybody's outfits look so dope. You can like tell that like the person who like wrote the manga was like into fashion and like I think like went to fashion school and like you could just you can like see like all of like the detail in all of their outfits and like the jewelry it just rocks.
It's beautiful. It really is.
And it just tears your soul apart. I like had to stop watching for a second because I thought that the arc was gonna get too dark and I wasn't gonna be able to handle it. It ends up being fine. And I like literally had to like take a break for like a day because I was like, I can't watch them do this to them.
At the part that you were though, it does feel like it's gonna take that like very like dark toll, and it is dark, but it's not like as dark as you're expecting. I feel like, because I remember when I got to that same part that you were talking about, I was like, I don't know if I can watch this, bro. This is a lot. But then you watch it and you're like, oh, it's fine.
And just every character is so good, and there's so many of them.
Yeah.
Like, and each one of them is so like unique, and like they all have their own like love plots. But it's not just like a love anime, because it also just like talks about like I don't know, just like human need for like desire and connection,
and also like touches really much like well on female friendships.
Yeah.
Which I feel like is something you don't really.
It's got some queer undertones too, which rocks. I don't know, just like what does like feminine closeness like look like, and you know like how I don't know. It just rocks. It's just a great anime. Everybody should watch it. It's only one season. It's like what 60 episodes.
I think like 50.
50, and it totally drops off at a terrible point. You never know what's gonna happen to any of them. I mean, you can like read the manga, which I kind of want to do.
But also the manga is not done.
Yeah. So you just kind of get like left, but it's just the world is so. Anyways.
Awesome. All right.
I do really want to watch / read it.
You
should.
I think
you would
it's
like
high
it.
on the list for sure.
You would really like it, and it's really, at first it's very silly and goofy, but then also serious at the same time. It definitely gets less silly goofy later on, but it's still like it breaks your heart and tears your soul, but it makes you feel good at the same time. Like, I don't know, it just kind of feels very relatable too, especially being like a girl in your early 20s.
Yeah.
And it's also like
mid-20s.
Nana's like working on her craft too, so it's like you do kind of get that persistent and that building of skill and like them trying to like make it as a band. So it's also kind of like a shonen in that sense a little bit too.
And the music is beautiful.
All right. Yeah.
You should watch it.
Oh, I need to watch it.
All right. And your number one.
All right, my number one. My number one is Bleach. My number one is Bleach. Bleach is just a classic, and it's awesome. There was nothing that occupied my brain and my time like Bleach as a kid. I was watching that anime on like, the office computer that we sometimes had in our homes back in the early 2000s. So I would literally be there until like the late evening hours on, Windows XP or whatever, just watching episodes of Bleach on whatever sketchy website I could find them on.
Literally.
And I remember at one point I literally had a Word document that was probably 20 pages long with every character listed. I had an entire key for people who were like alive, deceased, a wrong car, Shinigami, like all like Soul Reaper. Like I had every single. I would like write.
You were your own Wikipedia.
Exactly. No, quite literally. If there were like words that they would like start using the Japanese instead of the English, like they start doing for. I don't know, like in the manga they do that with Ryoka a lot.
They do, and also in Hueco Mundo they do a lot of Spanish.
Yeah,
They'll
so
do a
I
lot
would
of
like
Spanish.
write the translations. I would have every character's specialty. I'd have the Shikai and the Bankai. I literally had this massive Word document with just every Bleach detail in it, and I wish so deeply that I still had it. But yeah, it's just awesome. Just the most insane character design. There are so many characters.
Beautiful.
Having, all the captains and all the assistant captains and also all the other just awesome characters within the companies. There's so much character design, and it just is always awesome. It never gets stale. They're all different, they're all unique, they're all very detailed. Tite Kubo did not rest, was not lazy with that at all. And it just was my absolute favorite as a kid, and still to this day, it still holds up. I've been reading the manga recently, and I've just been tearing through that shit because I cannot help it. I cannot help it. It's so good. I just have to keep reading. And, a lot of the details I have kind of forgotten about because it's been so long, and that just makes it even better. Oh my god. It's so awesome. It's so awesome. And also, speaking of, the anime specifically, since that is what I watched first, the music in the anime is really awesome.
So good.
Similar to Death Note. It really, builds the suspense well. And I remember literally, having a burned CD with just, Bleach background music on it.
Dude, have you heard the Bleach background? Oh my gosh, I'm going to play it for you right now.
Everyone knows the Baby Now You
feel like number one.
That song's iconic, of course. And also, the voice acting is just really good and really fun. That's the one thing I miss when, with reading the manga. The voice acting is just
it's so
awesome.
good.
And it's serious at times. It's super funny at times. And Ichigo. You can say Ichigo's OP, but I do not care. He's just really awesome and a really, lovable main character because he is so, prickly, but he's also so genuine. And, he cares so much about the people around him and his family and his friends. And it's timeless. It's classic. It's iconic.
It is iconic.
It's everything.
I love it. Listen to this music. It's so good. And now you feel like number one.
Bleach OST. Also, let me turn you on to Bleach Beat, where they had all the voice actors sing songs.
Wait, I do know about that. I do know about
You never listened to Bleach Beat? Check it out. I was also very obsessed with Bleach Beat because I just think it's really funny that you're a voice actor and then they can force you to sing songs.
Dude, I feel like that's actually more common, or at least more common than I ever thought, because One Piece has something like that.
Yeah,
and I had no idea. I don't think it's as big as Bleach Beat.
Yeah,
it was just one song, but still.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah. Hitsugaya's tune, This Light I See.
Oh my god,
that's an awesome
that
song.
actually is the perfect title for him.
Exactly.
I also love Bleach. As we know, I know there are some Bleach haters that are subscribers. Boo. Incorrect. Like Tricia said, everyone can have their wrong opinion, and that's fine. Bleach is amazing. I love Bleach.
Okay. Emily, what's your number one?
My number one is Inuyasha. Wow. That's how I feel about Inuyasha. I love Inuyasha so much. It's so good, and it's also just a very nostalgic feeling because I watched it as a kid. And obviously, I didn't remember the little details, but it's just crazy that, as a kid, I still loved watching this series, and, it just made me so happy. And now as an adult, I know more about the story and, how it progresses, and I love it just as much, probably more. I have a whole tattoo of Inuyasha, and then also, all the characters are so great, and I especially love the female characters because this was this series came out, I think the manga came out in the late 90s.
That sounds right.
The anime came out in the 2000s, but I think the manga came out in the late 90s. And all the two main female characters, Kagome and Sango, are two very strong female characters who they never, yes, they had their love interest, but they were separate from their love interest. Like, their whole plot wasn't the fact that Kagome was with Inuyasha or Sango was with Moroku. They had their own plot lines and their own stories, and they were strong within their own regard. They could fight for themselves. And, like, now we might look at that and that's, like, the bare minimum. But back then, that was, like,
something.
A big deal. So, and, like, even now, I'm still like, damn, Kagome is such a badass. And the story is just beautiful. And even the filler, I think that a true good series, if I love the filler, that just means I just... Yeah. I love Inuyasha. We all know this, though. My username is literally Emiyasha.
Yes.
So, hey, any honorable mentions? Anything?
Well, I said Perfect Blue, which is, just also made me sob uncontrollably when I watched it. But that was when we were working together. You recommended that to me, and I remember I came back, and I was like, oh.
You did.
I was like, oh my god. But it was really good, and also it was like a really like inspiring anime, just in terms of like, I don't know, just watching somebody work really hard to be like good at something.
You're talking about Blue Period, right?
Blue Period. What did I say?
Perfect Blue.
Oh, that I do not. I mean, okay. I don't have any problems with Perfect Blue. I mean, I actually do, but I think it's just not a feminist movie.
No, not at all. That's why when you were saying that, I was like,
no, Blue Period.
Perfect Blue is a really beautiful art.
It's beautiful and
movie.
It's suspenseful, but it just like, I don't know, like taps into like some feminine fear that I don't like. That's like too real and too terrifying. And
I don't like watching it.
The like scene, like there's just a lot of scenes that are like so uncomfortable. I wanted to like skip through them. We could talk about favorite like anime movies,
but that is not on the list.
That's not on the list. But no, Blue Period, really good, really inspiring. You'll watch it and then you'll like want to like start learning how to like
draw.
Yeah. Like it just like makes you want to like learn how to make art, which I think is like you should walk away from watching something like feeling inspired.
For sure.
And that one definitely does. But yeah.
For sure.
Trisha, any
I have two honorable mentions. My first one is Claymore, because that was a manga that I just randomly picked up off the shelf at my local public library when I was like 12 years old. And it's just stuck with me this entire time. Like, I probably only read the first, like, maybe at most, like, 9 volumes, because what they have at the library is quite limited. But speaking of just, like, awesome female characters and awesome art, like, Claymore just goes so hard. And I've wanted to come back to it ever since. And I can't speak for the anime, which I know there is one. I've never seen it. I don't know how good about it is. But the manga was just so awesome, and I would really like to go back to it one day. And then my other one is definitely Fullmetal Alchemist.
Oh!
I read all of Fullmetal Alchemist around the same time as I was, like, watching Bleach and, like, reading Death Note, so it's definitely, like, mixed in that sort of just, like, iconic manga series for me. The only reason I didn't really rank it is because I feel like it hasn't just been as like enduring in my mind as
that makes sense.
Some of the other ones have been. Like, I loved it at the time, and I was like, it was on par with Bleach for a while in terms of just things I like obsessed over and like drawing the characters.
Makes
like
sense.
Me and my friend would have like we would write questions and leave space to like draw the answer. And so we would like do that just all the time, and Bleach characters and Fullmetal Alchemist characters were very, very, very heavily featured. It just hasn't been something where I've been like, I need to revisit this.
Yeah.
But it's obviously super awesome. I know it's in like so many people's top 5.
I actually need to watch it.
I've
never seen it.
Alchemist, and it is awesome.
I have like a whole list, so. But that's why you listen to this podcast. All right. Well, any last words? Anything you want to say?
Thanks for having us.
Thank you for being on the podcast. Emily, do you want to say bye?
Bye.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. All of our links are down below. We're so close to 200 subscribers. Please subscribe. Please comment. Please like. Join our Discord.
Tell
Love
me
you guys.
everything you hate about Bleach.
Tell me everything you hate about Bleach, because I will come back with a paragraph.
Tricia will come fight you.
You should join our Discord so you can argue with them.
Maybe, yeah.
All right, bye guys. Thank you.